In the span of 4 days in February 2026, two American presidents from completely opposite ends of this political spectrum both confirmed the same thing, that information about extraterrestrial life and UAP exists as classified material inside the United States government. Obama said they're real.
They're real.
Trump said Obama revealed classified information.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
And then ordered the files released. Two presidents, one confirmation, and weeks later, nothing has come out. So today, I want to ask the question that nobody is answering directly. If the President of the United States ordered these files released, and Congress has been demanding transparency for years, why can't anyone actually release them? The answer to that question should concern everyone, and it has nothing to do with what you believe is inside those programs. Let's be precise about what Obama and Trump actually revealed, because the language matters. Obama on a podcast said that aliens and non-human intelligence are real, but that they're not hidden at Area 51, unless, and this is his exact qualifier, unless there's an enormous conspiracy that hid it from the president. From a military standpoint, that qualifier is everything. Obama isn't dismissing the existence of these programs, he's describing the exact shape of what he doesn't know. He's telling you that a sitting president of the United States can be deliberately kept from knowing. That's not speculation. That's how certain classified programs are legally structured. Then Trump, when asked about Obama's comments aboard Air Force One, Trump didn't say Obama was wrong. He said Obama revealed classified information. He said Obama made a big mistake. And then, just hours later, Trump posted on Truth Social ordering his administration to begin identifying and releasing all government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life and UAP. Here's what I want you to notice. Trump is the commander-in-chief of the United States military. He has broad declassification authority. He could have picked up a pen and declassified this material in a single order. Instead, he initiated a process. That process tells you something official. He doesn't know what's in those files either. He ordered a search of those programs that his own administration doesn't have full access to. Two presidents, neither fully read in, and that's not an accident. To understand why this is possible, you need to understand how special access programs work. Most people don't understand how these programs are actually structured. A special access program, or SAP, is a classified program with handling restrictions beyond normal classification levels. Access is strictly controlled on a need-to-know basis. Apparently, being the president does not automatically give you need-to-know for every SAP that exists. Above SAPs are USAPs, Unacknowledged Special Access Programs. These are programs whose very existence can be legally denied. They don't appear on standardized intelligence briefings. They have their own compartmentalized funding streams, buried inside larger defense budgets. And critically, who gets briefed into them is determined not by the president, but by the programs themselves. Now here's where it gets important for this video. Multiple credible sources, including David Grush, testifying under oath before Congress, Christopher Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, and Senator Mike Rounds, who sits on both the Senate Intelligence and Armed Services Committees, have all stated, on the record, that legacy UAP programs exist inside this structure. Programs that have operated for decades. So when Trump orders disclosure and nothing comes out, that's not obstruction in the traditional sense. That's a president ordering the release of information from programs that were specifically designed to be invisible to him. The door was built without a key to the executive branch. And that was deliberate. Now this is where it gets legally extraordinary. And this is the argument that Representative Anna Paulina Luna has been making publicly in Congress, in media interviews, and recently on Joe Rogan. If these legacy programs are using government funding, your tax dollars, and are using the laws of the United States to enforce secrecy contracts and NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, on the people inside of them, but are operating outside both congressional and the executive branch oversight, then a fundamental legal question emerges. Can a program be simultaneously funded by the government, protected by government law, and accountable to nobody in government? The answer, according to multiple legal scholars and members of Congress, is no. A program that uses public funds and government legal authority but answers to no elected officials or oversight body is not a classified program operating within the law. It is a rogue program, and if the program itself has no legal standing, then every NDA, non-disclosure agreement, and secrecy contract signed under its authority may be legally void, which means every person who was threatened into silence by a program that has no legal right to demand that silence may already be legally free to speak. That wall of secrecy may have no legal foundation whatsoever. So what's the solution? Because executive orders clearly aren't enough, and standard disclosure legislation hasn't worked either. The UAP Disclosure Act, which I talked about in my most recent video, sponsored by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Mike Rounds, attempted to address this directly with real enforcement mechanisms. It included eminent domain language, the legal authority for the government to take possession of UAP-related materials currently held by private contractors and corporations. It included expanded whistleblower protections that would give people genuine legal immunity to come forward, and it established a review board modeled on the JFK Assassination Records Review Board, an independent body with actual authority to compel disclosure. Every single one of those provisions, the ones with real enforcement power, were stripped out before the final passage, quietly, behind closed doors, without explanation. You don't strip the teeth out of legislation unless someone is afraid of what those teeth might bite into. The pattern of what keeps getting removed tells you exactly where the resistance is coming from. And it isn't coming from elected officials. It's coming from whatever sits inside those programs. Programs that have now apparently survived 2 presidential administrations demanding transparency, years of congressional hearings, and the most sustained public pressure on this issue in American history. 2 presidents confirmed as classified. Congress has passed disclosure legislation. The president ordered the files released, and the programs designed to keep this secret appear to have survived all of it, because they were specifically built to be invisible to the very people now trying to find them. The path forward isn't another executive order. It isn't another congressional hearing. It's legislation with real enforcement power, eminent domain over recovered materials, genuine whistleblower immunity, and an independent review board that can't be quietly defunded or defanged before it does its job.